Okay, so one last thing to do is just get this guy, it fires at us now, so we just want it to, when the actual projectiles hit us, we want to take some damage, right? So essentially, if you haven't done the video where we set up the health bar, which we did when we created these guys that follow us around and take damage when they hit us, if you haven't done that, then you need to do that first, otherwise this won't really work. So if you have done that, all is good. What you actually want to go to now is find in the first person blueprints that we migrated in, if you remember, is the projectile. All right, so we've got a blueprint, that's what we migrated in. So open that up. Okay, you'll have some sort of preset blueprints that make it do what it does at the moment. And in the viewport, you can see the projectile itself. So if you want to, change this, modify this, then now is the chance to do it. You might want to import something totally different. You might have, I don't know, it might be like an arrow or something that's shooting out of a wall, a hole in a wall, or like some kind of Indiana Jones Tomb Raider style thing. I don't know. Or it might be a bullet, whatever. I don't know. Whatever it is your projectile is, you might want to create something and import it in as a mesh here. And also, if you do that, just come over here where it says static mesh and just change it to the mesh that you want. And the material you can change here as well if you want to change the material. I'm just going to leave it as the default projectile. Okay, so once you've done that and you're happy, with the mesh selected up here, okay, whatever yours is, add component and add a collision box. Again, depending on what your model is. Okay, so for me at the moment, I'm going to use the sphere collision. But let's say you had modeled like an arrow or something and it was more cylindrical, then you might want like a capsule collision. Okay, whatever's going to sort of wrap around your model the best. So mine's going to be sphere collision, so I'm going to add that in. So we've got the sphere and it's called itself sphere 1. You can rename these if you want to keep them a bit more organized. And what I'm going to do once that's added is come over to the event graph, get a blank space, make sure that collision box that you just selected or created is selected, and right click, and we want to add on component begin overlap. Okay, so when that collision box overlaps with the character, so third person character, that's what we want there, object to other actor. And from here, we want that to then set our health to, and this one here, we want to get the health. Get health. And then from health, we want it to be float minus float. And it down up to there. And the target is the character as well, so that's all fine. So this is the really important bit. So this is how much health you want it to take away. So bearing in mind this is a float, so 1 is maximum. So it's between 0 and 1. So if you wanted it to be a one-shot kill, then you could leave it as 1. If you didn't want that, then you can reduce this. I'm actually going to put it as like 0.1. So that's only like 10%, so we can take a few hits, as most games do. And then once it's taken this bit of health from our current health, it's going to just destroy itself. Okay, so the projectile doesn't just go through us and carry on. Unless you wanted it to do that, then don't put this in, but we do. So that's it really, compile that. That should be totally fine. Let's make sure it works. So run over here, we're shooting, we can avoid it, but you see if it does hit us, then we're losing health. Okay. Boom, 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 dead. Okay. We haven't set anything up yet, so that when I am dead, when health does get to 0, it takes you to like your dead screen or something like that, but we'll go through that shortly. Okay, so essentially, yeah, that's everything. So we've got the turrets, so you can set them up how you like. If I go back to my blueprints, I've got, I can bring in another one if I wanted. You can have as many as you want. Push play. And I've got people firing at me from everywhere now. So you can make this as challenging as you want to do, really. Interestingly, they kind of bounce about. So you need to be a bit careful about that. But it does make it quite fun. Okay, so remember, don't worry about these kind of errors. It creates one for every time it spawns a projectile, but it doesn't really cause any problems. So it's totally fine. Okay, and that's it.